Yo, what's up? Welcome to Technique Tuesday, where I share and break down some of my favorite techniques. And today I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite of all time and a mainstay of my competitive moveset, the Flatsnap 3 fake to offside 6. Now, the idea for this video is spawned out of a discussion I've been having with some of my teammates on Team Canada regarding how optimal the static offside 6 is, or this shot. Now, this shot is one that you see very often in high-level HMB competitions, and it's very often thrown from the static position. So you'll see even very high-level fighters throwing these kinds of shots at each other, trying to throw the shot into the offside sword leg, right? Because the offside 6 targets the offside sword leg, or the lead leg in the event that the opponent is a southpaw, a right-handed southpaw. Now, the reason that I think this shot is suboptimal is because when you're throwing the offside 6, it necessitates that you position yourself outside of your shield, regardless of like your shield orientation. If you're in like an A-frame position, if you're in a hanging guard, if you're in a neutral guard, a sword on shoulder guard, regardless of what position or stance you're in, when you throw the shot, you are necessarily outside of your shield. Even if you're in this kind of a position, your sword arm is always going to be on the outside of your shield, unlike with similarly complex shots like the offside 5, right? Where you can throw the offside 5 comfortably from within the shield, or the offside 4, where even when you're throwing the offside 4, you still have a guard maintained. When you throw the offside 6, right, it exposes the entirety of your sword arm, as well as your shoulder and the side of your head. So I find it to be suboptimal because of the amount of openings it creates and how far it is from your sword hand. That's why in my systems, I much prefer using shots that are onside, jab, Flatsnap 3, Flatsnap 1, or offside 4, because it's, offside 4 is very close to your starting position, whereas offside 6 is super far away. Now, that doesn't mean that the offside 6 is a bad shot. It's not. It can be really good. And when it's properly incorporated into a combination, for example, I find it can be a really devastating combo piece. And my favorite application of the offside 6 is out of a Flatsnap 3. So before we proceed to breaking down the fake, I'm just going to show you the standard way that I approach the offside 6. So first off, we'll start with offside 6. Boom, right? You can do the offside 6 a couple ways, depending on how you're standing. The best way to throw the offside 6 is to just bend the back foot, unless you're taking a step, like I've shown in previous videos, where you take a step, boom, throw the offside 6 like that. Otherwise, you throw the offside 6 like this. You just kind of lift the back foot, bend the back knee in order to be able to twist your hips, boom, throw that offside 6. Now, I much prefer to throw the offside 6 out of a combination, like I just mentioned, the 3-6, right? So Flatsnap 3, offside 6. Now the reason that I like to throw Flatsnap 3, offside 6, as opposed to just throwing the static offside 6 is because it forces the opponent to pick up their guard, right? When the opponent picks up their guard, they're gonna expose other openings on their body that you can throw at. And I don't believe it's ever a good idea to throw into the opponent's guard. But I think it's a really good idea to manipulate the opponent's guard, to make their defense go to places that you want it to be, to create the openings that you want. So, if I want to throw at the offside 6, for whatever reason, I want to throw, that's my chosen combination, I want to throw at the offside 6, right? Rather than throwing directly at my target, I'm going to create a combination that exposes that opening. So in throwing the Flatsnap 3, the idea is that the opponent is going to guard. Now, if the opponent doesn't guard, they're going to get bopped in the head, which is really cool. You can continue your combination and keep doing damage, right? But in the event they do guard, bam, their guard is raised. And now if you look at, my positioning, I'm a southpaw. So this combination would target a fighter like me because my lead leg is my right leg, my Flatsnap 1 leg, my left leg is pulled very far back. So in raising my guard, you've now exposed this offside 6, and for me to defend, I have to kind of do these leg games, or I have to back out, or I have to try to panic block that position because you've manipulated my guard and brought it up, right? Now, why would I overcomplicate this shot by creating a fake or a feint out of it? Right now, once again, the Flatsnap 3 offside 6, Flatsnap 3, whoop, Flatsnap 3, offside 6, right? I would create the feint, fake the Flatsnap 3, right, by coming up through home base, because all of your main shots come through home base. It's a great position to fake from. So I would fake the Flatsnap 3 by coming into this position, right? This position allows me to continue my Flatsnap if I so choose. I can also throw it offside from this position. It also provides me passive head protection, kind of like a hanging guard does. This can be called an inverted hanging guard. that'll come up through this position, causing the opponent to raise the guard because the movement is similar to throwing a flat snap, right? And in the same tempo, I can put down at the offside 6. So rather than using 2 beats, right, 1, 2, and giving the opponent an opportunity to react within that tempo, I use 1 tempo, right? And it's a bit of a faster combination. It plays a little bit on the opponent's psychology, a bit on their frame of mind, and it sets up further manipulations into the fight, because now you're kind of controlling where they set up their defense, and you have an idea of how they're going to react based on the stimulus that you apply. So when you're throwing your flat snap 3, boom, you can see exactly how they're going to react. And if you're throwing that flat snap 3 a bunch, boom, and you see them reacting to it, now when you throw the fake, you know you can gauge that they're going to have a predictable reaction. So in throwing the fake, they're going to come up because they've been coming up to defend your shot multiple times. Boom. It's a great way to sink that offside 6. Now, if you want to add movement skills into the offside 6, we can go back to the first technique video that I put up where I was showing the 3-4 with the left step, right? You can do kind of the same thing, whereas when you fake your flat snap, you're stepping with that left leg, right, like this, and you're cutting that aggressive angle on the target, which is always important because you're going to force the target to reorient themselves. And now in this circumstance, rather than throwing the 3-4 from this position, you throw the 3-6, boom, and you change position and reset your guard. What's really nice about this is that very much like with the 3-4, it gives you the opportunity to apply shield pressure, you can move left or right, you can attack other targets, you can do a lot from that position. In a further video, we can elaborate on different extrapolations and combinations and other positions that you can get to from there. But for the purposes of this video, the idea is simply setting up the offside 6 by creating stimulus, or the illusion of stimulus. And I believe that this is a more, not only a more competitive application for the offside 6, but it makes the offside 6 really safe and really devastating. Because shots to the leg can be really painful. They come from above your center of gravity, so they use gravity. It's really easy to smash down on something. It's harder to swing up on something, so it can be a really devastating combination piece. And because you're bringing up their guard, fighters have a tendency to kind of plant at the same time. So you're really assuring that you're going to throw a power shot at a target that isn't moving. It's going to absorb that whole shot. And with, the right fight conditions, you could set up that shot multiple times throughout the fight. It can be a great way to score points. And it makes, like I said before, it makes this kind of shot where you're normally extending outside of your guard, it makes it really safe. Because otherwise, if you're just going to throw this offside 6, you're giving them the opportunity to throw at that sword hand, right? No matter how you move, if you're throwing this offside 6 from this position, they invariably have the opportunity to counter. But if you throw something that requires them to bring up their guard, you can then have that free offside 6, right? So that's pretty much all I have to say for today. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message either on Facebook or on YouTube. I'd love to engage with you. If you have any ideas for videos, please hit me up. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and peace the fuck out.